boy Panda here checking in. Next episode, got my man Chase. We at Sanction, the sneaker store.
Hell yeah.
AB.
Fast Lane.
D. Kane.
Yeah, you know what's going on.
We're gonna get straight into it. Chase,
Yes, sir.
appreciate you having us for one.
Always.
Dude, what you doing is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I just want to give you your flowers while you're here, bro.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
You are doing exceptionally well.
Big facts.
Huge store, huge accomplishment to have something like this. I gotta ask you, bro, for one, where did your love for the game of just sneakers came? Where did it come from?
Shit. There's two different facets of it. One of them, my grandfather was into shoes before I even started. He actually worked at Foot Action. He did manufacturing and basically oversaw actually making sure the stores got the pairs they were supposed to. So he got all the original Jordans, the 85s, the 2s, 3s, all the way up to 20s. And, you know, as I was growing up, he kind of introduced me to what he did, you know, before he retired. And I just saw that you could actually, you know, mess with shoes to a fashion level and also to a historic / like statement level. Like if you rock a pair of J's, people know that at least you know something about the history and culture of it.
Right.
And so he kind of taught me not just history, but the culture behind it, everything, you know, from unfortunately people, you know, getting shot over a pair of shoes, which I never thought would be possible because I was still playing Legos and shit.
Right.
So honestly, him kind of bringing me up, teaching me everything about it, while not even having the pairs of shoes myself, just actually loving them before I could even own them or have the ability to own them. He definitely, you know, imprinted me with all those facts, information that, you know, I still use to this day. And then, you know, officially when I started actually getting pairs of shoes, it was my brother. I'm sure you remember Crimson.
For sure.
Me and him actually, you know, started our own little resale business as most do. And we actually were able to get a few pairs together and honestly just getting closer with him because me and him would fight.
At what age were you guys when you guys first started? Like, I've been knowing you a long time, bro.
Yeah.
But like, at what age did you like?
Yeah, you have to be young, like young as hell, bro.
So I think officially the first time I ever sold and like flipped a pair of shoes, I believe I was 10 and my brother was 13. So me and him started young. I'm not sure what grade that is, but I think it's around 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
And during that time it was the Elite Sock days, so I was
For
flipping
sure.
Elite Socks like that. I was going to Dick's and everyone.
Lit,
So
you had the Elite Socks back then.
I had somewhat of a business mentality when I was younger, always. I just never found the passion of shoes until me and him actually got into it and kind of realized, holy shit, like there's a lot of money in here.
For
Like,
sure.
And especially back then when there wasn't a lot of money. And, you know, just constantly finding, you know, all these new ways to make money and also get more pairs of shoes that I can wear.
Right.
I didn't realize you could trade one pair of shoes for two and then two for four and just keep doing that over and over. And then all of a sudden I have 30 shoes in my basement that I'm sitting here always wishing I had.
Cause bro, I definitely remember them days, bro, like at sneaker releases, bro.
Oh,
And your mom, I love her to this day, bro. I love her. Shout out moms.
yes, 100%.
But like,
a supporter.
I remember her bringing you up there like you was young as shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah. And we always got two pairs because of her.
always got some pairs. Like everybody else get one, we like, damn, dog. Dog coming out with two.
Oh, yeah, it was.
That's back when times was lit though. Like,
I gotta ask you,
it was lit then, yeah.
Hey, tell the people your secret, bro. How was y'all getting them, man?
So
people wanna
luckily, I, like yourself, I made a lot of great connections when I was younger. And then I don't want to say, I mean, I did look up to people, but I think also people kind of looked up to me in a sense, just like how young I was doing what I was doing, making, you know, the networking as
Probably
I was.
seen that potential in you.
Yeah, not a lot of people saw 10, 12, 13-year-olds doing that.
Yeah.
And I think I gained a lot of respect, fortunately, and a lot of connections through that, even just going through the mall. And I don't think 13-year-olds just sitting there talking to a Foot Locker employees asking if they have anything in the back. So luckily I was able to use my personal, you know, characteristics, and also my mom, God bless her heart, always was there asking whatever you got, we'll take it or we'll make it work. So without her support and then without kind of me, you know, gaining the knowledge from my grandfather, from my brother, of learning to network at a young age, I don't think I would have gotten to the point of where I'm at now or anything, honestly.
Do you think like with your mom like having such a big impact on you, like pushing y'all to do it? Like, do you think that like caused you to have that hustle, that drive to like, in a sense, know that, you know, I can really make some money off this. I can like feed my family for the rest of my life off of this.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
did you think that it could come from that, or?
Yeah, and like I said, she's been supporting since day one. She was the way I got to Foot Locker. She entered all the raffles with me. She, went to all, the potentially sketchy deals that I was doing as a 12-year-old. She was there through every step of the way.
Yeah.
And without that support, I definitely thought that the shoe game would be worth it because I wouldn't be able to do as much. And two, I wouldn't have actually seen the potential that I had in myself, like you said, to be able to feed my family one day, or see how much money is actually in this, because I'd just be, stuck at the house or stuck in even just one pair, whatever it might be. So without her, I definitely wouldn't be here. And she was actually the one that kind of supported the decision of staying at home instead of going to college and playing football. And like I said, I mean, no matter what, she's always supported what I've done as long as I'm happy and I'm loving it. And she'll, of course, always help any step of the way she can.
For sure.
So she's definitely turned me into the person I am, entrepreneurial wise, and then she has her own shop. So any way that she helps, she does it.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mom again. Man.
Yeah.
Clap it up for Mom.
Mom.
Clap it up for Mom, bro.
Yeah.
So what was a release back then that you participated in that might have been like the craziest release you were a part of, where like shit got crazy?
Some crazy
Like,
shit.
I don't know if we can walk out with this shit. Like,
So funny enough, there's two instances. One of them, the Vault, Crypto Vault, because they're no longer here.
Yeah.
But there was the Red Stripes, the Olives, and then the Copper Yeezy 350s. They were all
That was
released
Black
the same
Friday,
day.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Yep.
the same
I
day.
worked
Same
this
day at the Vault.
Yeah.
I think it was Black Friday. It
Because
was
I
right
worked
at
this
the top.
release in the Galleria.
Yep.
The bread levers came out.
I wasn't wearing Yeezys then,
You just happened to have them.
so I had them. I sold them.
Yeah, bro.
I sold them for the low
Yeah, right. Just
to a football player.
okay.
I can't even remember the football player name, but he wore a size 14, so for the low.
But yeah, that release at the Vault. So they, weirdly enough, they did raffle tickets, but then they also did first come first serve because they didn't hand out enough raffle tickets.
Yeah.
So I didn't hit any of the raffles. So I was like, and luckily, like I said, I made networking connections. So I knew the guy up there, actually Marlo. I still talk to him to this day. He was the manager up there, and just said, hey, I'll be here. I think they opened at like 10 or 11. I was there 8:30 waiting in line. Still 20 people back.
Yeah.
And me and my mom sat out in the freezing ass cold. You're right, it was, because I remember it was cold as shit.
Cold as shit.
And we were sitting there for an hour and a half, and the line just kept getting deeper and deeper. And everyone was super, respectful, awesome in line. They were amazing. They were just, like most people were like, why is there a 10-year-old ahead of me? Or, however old I was. But it was just, that was kind of the first time I think myself saw how big of an impact shoes had on just people in general. I was like,
Absolutely.
why is there a line full of 100 people and everyone's, asking me, hey, I'll pay you. I mean, people offered to pay me to get in front of me. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Or else I might lose a pair, or,
Facts.
there goes $100 worth of potential profit.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a fun instance. And then the Yeezy 750, the all black pair, Champs Galleria.
Yeah, I remember
They
this too.
were, I think, the only store almost
the
in St.
only
Louis.
store to
yeah,
go.
to get them. And I think it was maybe one size or one pair per size.
Oh, yep, I remember this, man.
Yes, and I entered for a 9, and that was when you actually had a raffle ticket, like
Yeah.
a paper one you went and actually go picked up. I remember I hit that, and I think at that time I was actually in the wheelchair when I broke my neck.
Yeah.
So fresh out the hospital, fresh out of broken neck, not even walking. I was like, we still got to go get it.
I gotta get these shoes.
Oh yeah. So she, wheels me all the way to Champs, gets the pair. And I still remember this day coming out. I probably had 5, 6. I mean, a good amount of people come up and offer to buy them right in that spot.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I think I gotta hold them. I gotta, see what Kanye does. And I was all about holding back then, and making sure I get the most out of my money.
For sure.
And I felt horrible for her because she's wheeling her son, and random strangers are coming up, offering her money, and she doesn't know what to do or what to say. But honestly, those are probably the two most memorable situations where mom was like, I don't know about this, but
I
again,
feel like
support through the whole thing.
I feel like if you don't have stories of being in line and something crazy happening, or like if you don't have those type of stories, you're not a real sneakerhead.
Oh, I agree.
Like if you ain't never had to go stand in line for what you want, or
Cold,
like
man.
try to
That
pay
though,
somebody,
Yeah,
or
to-
like
to-
And somebody offering you money
Yeah,
or something,
right,
something
like-
happened, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like,
I had one line rule. If you wasn't first, you was last.
Yeah.
I was 13, so it'd be like I call the store all week, Y'all got how many 13s? Y'all I need 13. Y'all know my mama wears 7. So I need 13 and a 7. And my mama husband, he wore 12. So I need those 3 sizes off the bat. All right, boom. All right, I got the 13. So this might have happened 2012. I want to say when the first minutes dropped back out. Around 2012.
That was 2012.
Yeah.
So I run the Foot Locker I work at now. Man, I go, I'm the first person in line, been in line all morning. Reggie come out and say, the manager's got him. Man, I was butt hurt. I probably stood in that store line, held that line up until I'm like, man, y'all gotta find me a pair.
Right.
Like before I leave.
Yeah.
And then, thank God they had them at Union Station. When Union Station still had the Foot Locker down there.
That was a slept on spot for a lot of releases,
They
bro.
had them. I was probably about the 3rd person in line down there. But like, man, I done stood out in line 2.5 days.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
That's probably the longest I done stood out.
What shoe was you staying in line for 2.5 days for? This gotta be some shit, cause there
I
ain't no
stood
way.
out when the first Brothers came out.
The grandparent.
Them Bel Airs was like, when them
Okay.
dropped, that shit was like,
That's crazy.
And I didn't even get them. I was in line for my homeboy to get them. I stood in line 2 days. And I want to say I got there at 8:50 the day before the next person pulled up at 8:53 in the morning. Not at night, in the morning.
It's on that ass. It's ready.
And then like probably the next person pulled up at 9:30. We're like, oh man, they ain't even got them here. We came to the wrong store. They pull off. Man, when I say I want to say, we looked up around 3. So when the store finna close, like around, well not when it's finna close, but like 3 when people coming in, like, y'all getting the 5s? We'll walk in. Next thing you know, people just by about 4 people. It's line chairs. Filled up, and I'm talking about, man, we was out there for 2 days.
That's crazy.
Man, and I was first in line, but I did not get them shoes for myself. I got them from my homeboy. I didn't even want
That's a real homie right
Yeah.
there.
Everybody need a friend like
for
D.
my homeboy. It was crazy.
That's
But he
crazy.
still got them to this day. He might be the only person that I was in line with that still got them.
yeah.
Now, where was everyone at in 2012? Breads came out.
Okay.
At work,
Look, okay.
working that finish line, man.
Man.
All this up.
That's some
was-
scary stories. I've
That
heard.
was back when I used to have 2 laptops
I
trying
got
to
this story.
It's crazy.
I'm at the same store, City Girl in Oakland, because that was my store. That was the store I go
City
to.
Girl always got the best stories for sneakers.
That was my store.
That's
so
where the shit happened at.
that was probably that was the first shoe I ever stood in line for a whole day for, and it was on my birthday because my birthday on December 20th. They came out the 19th, going into the 20th. Okay, so I'm up there all, and I'm talking about freezing cold, and Channel 2 comes. Channel 2 comes out.
Oh, it's one of
They
those.
like,
stories.
This is a good story.
This is a story.
they like, hey, D, you gotta do the interview. You gotta let them interview.
No, I remember that.
So look, that's a crazy story. So I do the interview, and I just lie and make up a whole crazy story.
Hey, no
Like-
bullshit. We got to play out an interview. I know you got the interview. We
So
gotta put
yeah,
it
I got the interview too. I got it in my phone.
We
somewhere.
definitely
We're
got
gonna
it.
drop that in.
So I got the interview.
Clip that motherfucker.
So
Oh God.
they like, look, man, D, go do it. So I get up there. It was a story I heard from Black Friday. Walmart, I'm just like, man, there's so many people out there, they getting trampled. She fell, they falling over people. I got on 4 pair of pants, 3 hoodies, 4 pair of socks.
Hey, I remember this though.
I remember this. This is a real story. So look, somebody called me and said, hey man, I thought you was in the living room talking to my grandma because I heard your voice. Man, why is you on this TV playing on the news? Like if you look at, when I show y'all the video, my partner Twan, he got a blue hat on. He just busts out laughing because everybody in the line know I'm lying. We just stood there literally cold the whole night, cold, freezing. And then I came up with that whole story, and then it's crazy because the second dudes in line, they went in the car and fell asleep.
Oh.
Man, that line started going. They woke up, shoes gone. Man, that was probably the craziest thing. Man, y'all, and it was on my birthday, but I got that news clip in my phone somewhere, so I'm gonna have to send y'all the news clip.
Yeah, we
y'all
gonna have that for y'all.
We need that.
Don't even worry about that. You got to show that.
And people come to me all the time about that interview. Like, hey man, remember you was in that interview? Did you know you was the one when you was in that interview? I'm like, man, what? They like the shoes for the breads. I'm like, man, how do you even still remember that interview? Man, they be like,
That was your iconic moment.
yeah, that was like one of the moments where they was like, alright, man, he really gets shoes.
He really doing this.
He done got a whole interview on the news, man. That was crazy. That was probably like
Hell
one
no,
of the
bro.
funniest times. Because I used to stand out of lines. Every line, I was first in line, but every line, man. I'd never been in a line where it got robbed, where nobody started fighting. Because all the lines that I was in, it was the normal people. They had the regulars that was always at the front of the line. They held it down in the front of the line.
Yeah, the action don't go down till like, you don't get to the
Yeah,
back of the
to
line.
the back to
It
you.
gets
Yeah.
spicy. Right. It
People
gets
just
spicy
hearing
in the
about it.
back.
Because they don't know if they finna get that shit.
People that's looking like this, they
rob a nigga to get that
Them type of people.
Man, look, thank
People
God I
asking
ain't never been
Right.
one of them lines that got robbed. Because, man, I done seen a few lines get robbed.
Oh,
I mean, but we all done been in the line, bro, and
Yeah.
somebody come up and like, bro,
Man, like,
I'll pay you whatever for this shoe.
yeah.
You say nah, and they pissed like, well, shit, I'm finna take it.
I had a
Like,
cat like that, man, from the east side. Man, he'd come up every time, like, bro, I would pay for your spot in line and I would buy your shoe. Man, hell yeah, you can buy my shoe. You can have all three of my spots. Hey, but man, it was some cats like that you would catch, like, when you in the front of that line, man, they'll pay some money. They'll pay some real money in the front of that line.
You know what's crazy is at that point they're just paying what people were charging back in the day to sell them. So
Right.
they're just it's, for some of them it's just a thrill of actually getting it, saying
Yep.
they got it in the
Yep.
store, and talking to
That
the
def-
homies and letting them know.
like 2000, what? Instagram came out with 2011,
11.
12,
I
like
wanna
somewhere
say-
around there.
I was 4th grade, 5th grade.
Yeah, like that
So
was
crazy.
people was just excited to catch that, post that shit.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
want to flex and want to do whatever.
And half of them, that shit was gone the next hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People were warming pictures, took them right back off in the sun.
And put, man, sold the shit out them.
And so, man, I know a dude that do that to this day.
Oh
He
yeah.
gonna worm, he don't care what size, a 6 to a 7, whichever one y'all got, give it to me, because I'm gonna worm, take a picture, and sell them.
Oh,
That fast.
we
That's
get
crazy.
probably 10 to 15 people who buy shoes from us the next day, come back and just sell it. And they already know they're gonna lose money, but it's just that that hype on Instagram that they want to get, Facebook, whatever.
Man, it's like,
I mean,
Got
but
that
shit,
image
everything
built
now
crazy.
built off that. Like everybody got an image. Everybody want to be portrayed in a certain light.
Yeah.
So it's like certain shit, especially for you guys that like really get like Eric Kais. A lot of people don't even know about that shit unless you a true sneakerhead.
Yeah.
But like
They
you
wanna
got
act like
guys
they
that
are
come
one.
in here like shit. I'm finna get on the ground with these.
Right.
I'm finna fuck them up with these.
Right.
take one,
And
Yeah.
click.
Yep.
One quick one.
Yeah. Right off.
Cause let's be
back in
real,
the
bro.
bag.
Like, unless you a real sneakerhead, you ain't really going nowhere in your shoes. Not no good shit.
Yeah.
Like you finna.
Gonna ice it out.
I'm gonna go to the movies.
Yeah. Right.
Go somewhere where I'm gonna get to just a light.
Yeah, a little light.
A real light wear.
Light crease, light.
A light wear.
Take it back off and put it in the closet for I don't know how long. Until
Don't know when I'm
I
gonna see
have
these
them.
motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's how it be
like,
though.
that's crazy.
But for that though, with you owning stores now, you said, we talked a little bit before. You said you got 1,500 pair of shoes
Roughly around there. Yeah.
in a year.
Yes.
How many of your shoes do you actually wear?
365
You wear a different pair every day.
every day.
Man,
That's crazy.
I
I mean, it's only
So you
right.
don't got
Yeah.
a favorite pair of shoes?
If I do, I'll wear it I'll save it for later in that year to where I know, like, okay, I'm ready to bust this out. So, like, my high school graduation, I got the Nike mags. I wore those on my high school graduation, like walking the stage and
See, that's a
stuff.
different type of guy right here.
1,500.
Nike Air
I
Max.
think it was around that back in 2020, and now they're like 20, which is crazy.
I snuck and wore the Chicago too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
No, that was
graduated,
fire.
like 2010, yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
And then
Next.
I wore Red Octobers for this grand opening.
Tough.
And then M&M 4s I wore for St. Charles grand opening. So, yeah.
Eminem
Different.
I like to save the 10,000 and up, and then
So-
anything else is kind of.
So with that being said, because you just said, listen, I don't know a person that ever had a pair of Eminem's. So let me ask you this.
Yep.
What's the most expensive resale shoe that you've ever owned? And how much was it?
And
That
price.
I've ever owned? Probably the Carhartt 4s, M&M's. Yeah, I think that's at what, 50
Yeah.
grand now?
About
Do you
50
still have them
bands.
or
It was like
yourself?
20
No, I still
bands.
got them. Yeah.
Tuh.
And I know the mags are at 20 now. Red Octobers are now going crazy. I think
For real?
it's 18. I think
That's
probably the
crazy.
M&Ms are probably most
So
expensive.
you got easily over
Well over.
Them three
$200,000 worth of shoes.
Well
Yeah.
over.
Oh, well over that.
75.
Yeah.
Damn near.
Yeah. And then I got some like old stuff that should be worth more, but it isn't just because of what it is. Like I got the KD4 Nerf samples.
Oh, that's hard.
Some
That is.
UNC4 PEs.
So you like PJ Tucker of St. Louis?
I don't really give myself that much credit.
He just not hooping.
Okay, so
You not hooping.
what's
He
one
just
shoe
not
that you
hooping
don't
in there.
have
So
yet
he wearing them to work. So
that
that's
you want?
Yeah.
Is that a shoe I don't have?
A shoe that you don't have that you want right now.
Ooh. Gotta think.
What?
Yeah,
That ain't.
he too far
Come on
gone,
now.
bro.
Probably, and weirdly enough, you know the Legend of Summer ones?
Yeah.
Definitely the Legend of Summer ones.
Okay.
Yeah. That's that all like glitter red pair.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a pair of them forever. It used to be the Friends and Family Soulfly, the
Okay.
black and patent
The black,
red
yeah.
with the orange. But I finally was able to scoop those up. So probably it's going to be the Legend of Summer ones.
Man.
I don't know if they actually made a pair of those in my size because I wear a 9.5, 10. I know most samples come in about 11 and up or a size 9 on the dot.
Right.
So it's tricky to find some of the higher end stuff because they're made for specific people who
Yeah.
wear specific sizes, and that's the more common sizes to find. So
That's crazy, bro.
yeah.
So I do want to talk a little bit, like I said, bro, I've been knowing you a long time, bro. And the first expo, I'll never forget, bro. When I seen you, you had a neck brace on.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But you still came. You still came. You still supported.
Had to.
Do you remember some of the things that you brought to sale that day?
I think I do. I actually came across a picture of my table at that on Instagram.
I think I got a picture of his table.
I think I
Yeah.
was looking through
I
my
definitely got a
memories
picture
or something,
somewhere.
and
I
there's
definitely
something I was
still got a
tagged in.
picture.
I don't know why, but I remember I had these glass cases with KD4 EYBLs all stacked up. That display was dope. I mean, it was all Nike and foams back then.
Yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
think I had any Jordans.
Foams
back
was
then.
huge back then.
Yeah, oh, foams, KD4s,
Yeah.
LeBron 9s.
Yeah, dog.
That was, I mean, that's what got me started was all the Nike basketball. And you already, I mean, shit, I got almost all of them now, and thank God, because that's my favorite. That's what got me started. That's like my Jordans is Nike basketball stuff. So I think it was mainly just that, and I mean, I had a crazy foam collection back in the day. So it was probably, if I could remember, it was that. The craziest shoe I had, I think I had the Zen 1 Yeezys at that
Yeah, the
expo. I think so. I don't remember if I had them.
I think
I
That's
remember
a crazy shoe. No.
I
You had a lot of shoes. I remember your
Yeah.
mom came with the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Because I helped y'all unload that shit. I was like,
Definitely,
yeah, he ain't-
definitely
he ain't
pulled up
coming
with
fuck around. He
a
ain't
truck.
coming-
Like
Oh, loading that truck up.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
I was hobbling. I could barely walk at that time.
that
Oh
shit
my
was
God.
crazy.
Man.
Definitely a truckload. I
Yeah.
think a U-Haul type.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
had to do a U-Haul.
Yeah.
I think my first ever expo was SneakerCon Chicago. I think that was 2013, and I was 12, and I had my own table. That was the first one. That was a last minute thing. We didn't know how expos worked. We didn't know you had to get a booth in advance. We just showed up, and Alan, I don't know if he still runs SneakerCon, but he was the one running the event. We came up, asked him, "Hey, you got any tables left?" And he was like, "What is that kid talking about?"
Yeah.
And at the time, I really did. But he was cool enough to give me a table. I sold, shoes. I went to the Foot Lockers before that in Chicago and bought whatever I could to make it
Yeah.
worth it. That was the first ever expo I did. And then the second one was another SneakerCon in Chicago. And after that, was finally when they started throwing the local ones. And I was finally, had a collection where I felt was good enough to branch out and actually
Right.
represent myself, as well as, put on a little bit for the city. and actually, solidify some networking opportunities locally to where I was confident enough to do that. Which came your expo. I remember Buddy used to throw expos all the time.
Buddy had a couple.
Mark used to throw expos. I think it was Takeover.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now there's not a lot locally. There was mine that I did for 3 of them, and now there's a Greatest Sneaker Society. You heard that one?
Yeah, I just reached out to him. Supposed to be going there this weekend to check it out. But I do think that's something that eventually needs to grow back because, the hype beast kind of killed the game right now.
Agreed.
So it's like right now, a lot of guys that were sneakerheads kind of fell off.
The game
Not
fucked
even
up.
just for hype beast though, but just because of shoe quality.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
the
Yeah.
quality is nowhere near the same as it used to be.
Agreed. And there's a lot of, unfortunately, with StockX, with GOAT, there's a lot of love and excitement. Because, remember when you were always looking for the grail, you were excited to finally get it.
Yeah.
Now having a platform where you can get whatever you want doesn't make it as fun.
It don't make it as fun.
It's basically, all StockX, does is just facilitate any need you want. So there's no hunting, there's no asking your buddy if you got them. The only way to do that is if you get a better deal on it.
There's
of
no
course.
grind.
And there's also no excitement of seeing the shoe. You can see whatever you want just by looking it up.
Literally.
Back then, it was, I really want to see that in person. Well, you can go, on Google and find 20 images from StockX, Go,
Easily.
eBay, whatever it might be. And the online presence wasn't as huge back, at least when I started. It was mainly, honestly, what you guys said, just for flexing and just showing off what you got. It wasn't for selling. I remember Kicks on Fire actually just used to be people showing off their personal
Shoes,
on-feet picks.
Yep.
And now it's actually selling
buy
and
shoes
where
on
to
there,
buy
yeah.
it or whatever it is. It's articles now. And I think just the excitement has gone away because also Jordan's not doing a great job of releasing dope stuff. They're doing all these random one-off colorways of Fusion ones or Bordeaux ones, trying to get bring classic colorways to different model shoes. It just doesn't work. And that combined with Yeezy and all the random shit he does and weirdly finding comfortable ugly ass shoes and the foam runners and the slides, it's just a completely different game now than it was 10, even 5 years ago. It's crazy what it's been now.
So when you really look at the dynamic of shoes, right? For you, I'm speaking. What made you get to the point where you was like, I want to create something like this? Like obviously you had to have a plan. You had to have something that was like, I could really make this happen. You know what I'm saying? What drove you to get to that point? And when you got to that point, what did it take to create all of this?
Yeah. So honestly, like I said, I was collecting since I was 10, and now in high school, I was mainly focusing on football because I was, what I was doing mainly it was football and then shoes on the side whenever I could have time. And so when I started actually getting college looks and actually realizing I might be able to go, to college and get it paid for and, do what every son dreams to give to his father, I stopped actually as heavily as I was buying and selling in high school. So I missed probably 4 good years of the sneaker game, which sucked, of course. I didn't even keep up with it. I didn't even have sneakers downloaded. I wasn't able to do the original Off-White 10 drop, none of the cool shit.
That's crazy.
And so after that, after football, after school, and honestly once COVID hit, came back from spring break, was in Florida, and I was like, well, I'm not going to go back to school. I don't have football. I'm not going to sell my ass and do nothing. So might as well, at least play with shoes again. Let's see what's going to happen. Or at least go get some personals, because that's what I mainly started for, was just collecting. And kind of once I did that, again, started networking, started making more connections as I started flowing back into it. And then started to get the love and passion back for it. Instead of just focusing on football and school and all that, I finally had some free time to enjoy something I forgot I loved so much.
And what year was that?
That was 2020. Yeah.
2020?
Yeah, right before COVID started. And then decided to throw my sneaker expo, and that was just honestly because I missed seeing everyone. Like I said, it was COVID, so I didn't see anyone. I haven't talked to anyone. Some relationships I lost during that break. So I haven't talked shoes. I haven't been able to enjoy shoes or seeing anyone involved with shoes. And those are my guys because I used to do deals and see them at malls, wherever it might be. And so I think probably once I got into that vibe and that scene of actually seeing everyone so happy to be together and have a common interest and love, I think that's probably what pushed me to be like, I want to do this every day. What can I do to basically do a sneaker event every day? And I actually have a business partner in this. Is Jared. He was actually one of my vendors, and we even connected at the event. We're like, what can we do to repeat this feeling of excitement, of joy, of euphoria, of talking to people who love the same shit as you do, and having a passion, and excitement about it. And so we played around. We were originally talking about doing pop-up events, a lot of work for not a lot of result. We were originally talking about doing like a sneaker truck, and like just any idea that hasn't already been done. Because originally there was, I think it was just Reset at the time, and then 39 Castles. Yeah. So me and him finally realized, well, we got a big enough personal collection with each other, because he had about 300, I probably had about 400 at the time. We have enough shoes together. Let's just do basically a pop-up sneaker store. So that's just only on weekends. Let's just do that. And also, to give it more of a sneaker expo environment, let's have resellers sell their shoes in the store, like consignment, but actually they're there selling their own shoes.
Not to interrupt you,
No, you're good.
Did you have a pop-up shop at Mid Rivers?
I don't think so. I had one up in North County at that old Keith's old sneaker cleaning shop.
I think that was it. 'Cause I remember going to it, like I heard about it randomly.
It was outside? Yeah, it was like almost like a car meetup, like car swap, and people would set
that was a dope idea though.
Yeah. That was like the third one we did, and still, it was cool, like I said, just to get that connection and just have people who actually fuck with shoes show up. But it was hard, and also expensive to find the places to actually continue to allow us to do that, because we had a lot of shoes. So once kind of we decided that we're going to do basically a sneaker event every weekend in a store, we loved it. I mean, we still got the same, enjoyment of seeing everyone buying and selling shoes, and then we realized that, oh shit, a lot of people fuck with us. Let's open another day. Yeah. Open now Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh shit, people still want to come in. Okay, now let's do Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we got so many shoes, so much support, to we're like, all right, we got to do something. So then full-fledged store down here. We moved here in November, and now we're just running like an actual sneaker store. Yeah, and expanding to other locations.
That's what's up, bro. Shout out to you, man. So what's some advice you got to the youngest man that's trying to get to the level that you at?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the young.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the little, the 7-year-olds that's in the game.
Starting point.
I mean, I've been saying a lot. It's definitely networking. Meeting people like yourself to kind of bring you into a circle that you wouldn't be going into without actually talking and actually being comfortable talking to those people.
Right.
And then also patience. I mean, that's the biggest step in starting anything. I mean, you with this podcast and even waiting in line for shoes or patience with the manager at work, whatever it might be. If you don't have patience, you are going to hate yourself and hate whatever you are doing, and you're going to start to resent yourself for doing what you're doing. And if you just have enough patience to get through the hard days, to realize it will succeed as long as you keep being consistent, you keep working at it, and you keep hustling your ass off, it's going to pay off. But if 2 weeks in at opening our first 2 weeks, I was sitting there like, why are we not making millions of dollars yet? Why are shoes not flying off the shelf? I mean, I probably would have given up and
a long time
all right, time to go play football or whatever what would have been. But luckily, I had Jared, who's owned a business for about 27 years, to coach me a lot on the business aspect of it and what it takes and the hardships of it, which is you're not going to make all the money immediately. There's going to be so many up and downs, more downs than there are ups. And honestly, you just got to be patient with it. With the up and downs, one probably last piece of advice would be appreciate the accolades. Honestly, a lot of people are only going to focus on the bad only. So it's, we didn't hit, our quota today, or, maybe a shoe was stolen, or, there's so many things that can go wrong. There's not a lot that can go right, other than successfully, maybe meeting a sales goal, or successfully, maybe you get a steal on a shoe.
Yeah.
Even just like the littlest things, like opening up even on time. Yeah. Like that could be something that doesn't happen. And there's a lot of things that you learn to appreciate, the very small things that get you through day to day, instead of focusing on all the negatives. Whether it might be like, oh, the floor's dusty, it's a mess everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I mean,
no, for sure.
It's mainly just appreciating also what you have.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's extremely hard to do, not even in just business, but in life.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Everyone might
same rules apply.
Yeah, glass half empty instead of glass half full. Yeah. Same exact thing.
So I gotta ask you, I want to know this personally.
Okay.
But for the people out there too, what's your top 5 out of everything that you've ever purchased? This could be anything.
Okay.
What's your top 5 shoes? If you had to and I want them from the number one to the number 5.
Okay. I'll start 5 and go up.
Okay.
Not that I own, right? Just any of all time.
Any shoe, all time.
Number 5, KD4 Aunt Pearl. Has to be.
That's a classic shoe for sure.
Aunt has breast cancer, so I remember getting that shoe, and I had her even sign the shoe, the first pair I got.
Yeah.
That still sits in the glass case in my apartment. Number 4, probably Pants on 11. That was just my first ever 11, and that's what got me into. Yeah, that's what got me into 11s. I didn't realize how some people look at 11 as the Jordan, not even ones. Like it's 11s for them.
Yeah.
I think St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis is like 11,
12,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
It's all the high numbers, which usually most people don't fuck with.
Right.
It's awesome.
That was the first shoe I ever stood in line for.
Yeah.
11s.
Yeah. Probably after the 11s, I'm gonna keep probably sticking to Nike basketball. What the KD 5? That's
What the KD5 was
first
like.
shoe I paid over resell for, or resell for over retail for.
Yeah.
What am I at? 3, right? No.
2.
I'm at 2. 2 Dornbecker foam posit.
Bruh. I remember when you had them joints.
Yeah, I scratched them out and hooped in them in 6th grade. Yeah. And they were
We the
heavy as
same.
shit. I was clogging all around the fucking court. But I just love what Dornbecker does for the kids, and for the
Yeah.
hospital and the foundation.
And that colorway, the spicy colorway shit, that shit fire,
dope.
bro.
And Elijah Diggins did amazing designing it too.
Yeah.
It's with the hang tag, just the details is perfect. And the number 1,
Yeah, that number 1 spot, bro. That's
Spot's got
this the shit everybody really
We gotta
wanna know
get
right
together.
here.
I don't want to be basic, but I'm gonna have to say it's probably my mags. It's probably just because
That's not a basic.
Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time, and I was able to luckily enough have them before I could graduate high school. So I was able to, that was my shoe. So I walked across stage, like I said, walked through all the ceremonies, took all the graduation pictures. So that's a shoe that I literally will now remember forever.
Yeah.
If it falls apart tomorrow, I can still tell my kids that's the shoe I walked,
Facts.
across the stage in, and I'll never forget.
Is that the shoe you would walk down the red carpet in?
Yes, yeah.
It is?
That's the
Okay.
shoe I walked down the aisle in if I could.
Okay, what's the most you paid for a shoe?
Most I paid? So I've done some crazy trades, and that's how I got the mags. Most I've ever actually paid for a shoe, I think it was $8,000.
What shoe was this?
That was for a dead stock pair of Solar Yeezy 2s, which honestly now isn't a bad deal. Back then,
Not
that was
at all,
around what
at all.
market was.
You still have them?
It wasn't a personal size. I got it just to get in the store, and I sold them luckily because I know market's weird on Yeezy 2s. The most expensive shoe that I sold that I still have in here, or that I bought that I still have in here, probably the Eminem 2. I think that was only like $2,500 though. So usually
Not
all
terrible.
the grails, or the more I spend on them, I take them home.
Only 2,500.
Compared to the other shoes we've been talking about, yeah.
For sure.
But most of the time, I spend anything above that, I'm taking it home because I want to appreciate it. I don't want to just sit in a case or have it be a conversation piece. I want to sit there and enjoy it and know that it's mine because once something goes in the vault, it doesn't come out. So something I can appreciate over time and actually make it, that money worth it.
Absolutely. So man, I definitely want to congratulate you on everything, bro. This
Thank
is
you.
like
Big
a
facts.
huge success, bro. Especially coming from St. Louis, like where people don't really look at us as like a sneaker city. You proven that it works, it can be done, and bro, congratulations on what I'm saying, the new stores and
Thank
everything else.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Make sure y'all check out his new store, October.
Yes, sir.
Grand
October
opening.
1st. Yep.
I'm gonna be there.
Yes, sir.
Gotta support. Gotta shop.
And where would that store be located?
It's going to be located at 3725 Foundry Way. We're going to be right next to Vibe Season. And we'll be open 11 to 7 that day. We'll also be doing drinks, catering. Basically, it's going to be a big ass shoe party.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Make sure y'all come out, check it out.
Come party with us.
Also,
Check it out.
you got the
Definitely
St.
gonna be
Charles location as well.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes.
So make sure y'all shop. It's
Throw that-
open. It's here now.
Fuck it. Throw that address in there. Go ahead.
1650 Mill Street. we're next to a bunch of dope restaurants. We're next to a bunch of dope people doing dope things. We got about 1,400 pairs in there. We got about 2,000 in here. Over there, we're getting about 3,500. So hopefully close out the game.
Yo, come
Yes,
shop.
sir.
Come
Crazy.
shop.
Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure y'all go like, comment, subscribe. Chase, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me. It was
Appreciate you, my
it was an
boy.
honor, honestly. It was,
Yes, sir.
for real.
Anytime.
It was
anytime.
awesome.
And we out, baby.
4 pair of pants, 3 pair of socks, pair of gym shorts, 4 shirts, a sweatshirt, and a hoodie.
Instead, they believe it was about crowd control.
They started the line, it got crazy, got real crazy, got chaotic. The line just bum rushed. There's a bunch of people bum rushing, running each other over. One lady fell, got ran over, it got ugly.